St. Augustine came from North Africa, born in the 4th century and died in the 5th century. So he was a Berber, indigenous peoples to North Africa. And the town he was born in, Thagaste, which is now Souk Aras, it's about 60 miles south of Annaba, which used to be called Hippo, where he became bishop. And this is all in Algeria today. And so his travels that helped him to convert through Ambrose of Milan, through experiencing Rome, still brought him back to serve the local church, to serve his people where he was from. And he died during a siege by the Vandals of Hippo. They besieged the city for about 7-8 months and finally conquered it. And during that time, Augustine, who was by then an old man, died. So that's a context then to think perhaps today in our liturgy about what we might draw from celebration of asking for the prayers of St. Augustine, because his theological contribution to Western theology is so great and so vast that in a sense to meditate on that today would be perhaps far too great a task. But what I was struck by is in our liturgy today, in the Mass, but also in our prayer throughout the day, is how the scriptural readings and the choices of readings from Augustine's writings himself all seem to point towards a desire for harmony, an exhortation towards unity. We see that in our gospel, this high priestly prayer of Jesus, that they may be one. And this is what opens the rule that Augustine wrote, which the Dominican order took as its rule. Live harmoniously in your house. And then we have these reading from the letter to the Colossians, which emphasizes the same thing. Love which binds everything together in perfect harmony. So that is the goal that we seem to be offered today in the liturgy of reflecting. It may well be then because Augustine's career is characterized by fighting for unity. One of the great things that is known about him during his time is how the other sorts of Christian churches that emerged, the Donatists, who in a sense had a doctrine that ended up in disunity. It was splitting people off. It was categorizing people as being outside or inside. And that's something that Augustine, in maintaining the Catholicity, his Catholic faith, argued for unity. As the rule begins, the first precept is charity, that love, that charity that must come first before we look at people's sins. So his career is characterized by fighting for unity, one might say. And yet Augustine's past is that of one who is seeking harmony. He's, as a young man, entertained by all sorts of strange doctrines, as the epistles warn us against. Manichaeans and Neoplatonism before returning or before coming to the Catholic faith. And so his past is one of seeking harmony, and we see that early on in that great writing he has of the Confessions. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you. The harmony that is being sought, the peace that Augustine is seeking. And so, before perhaps today we search for the charity and unity and the harmony in society amongst us, we need to ask God for that unity and peace and harmony within ourselves. It begins, perhaps, this is what we can take today, the harmony of being one with the Father and the Son in the Spirit, begins with asking God to come into our hearts.